Thank you so much, everyone. Oh, let me. Ooh, so many people here. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining to the June 2021 Sakebox event. We're so excited to have you all. This is Mimi from Tipsy, and we have Sachiko, our sake expert from Tipsy. And we're joined by amazing three guests from three featured brewery from our June Sakebox. Nakano-san from Dewa Zakura. Thank you, Nakano-san.
The fourth generation owner, all
よ
the
ろしくお
way
願い
from
いた
like
し
the
ます。
northwest part of Japan, Yamagata.
Amazing. And Hanafusa-san from Muromachi Brewing Company.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
We're gonna ask him all about omachi, okay?
Of course.
And Fukui-san from Kikumasamune.
Hello. よろしくお願いしま
We're
す。
also gonna ask him about his recent if he's had any marathon activities too.
Yes, we're gonna all get personal. So thank you so much. And before we start, I'm just gonna go over the agenda. Oh, and let me stop the music. Okay. All right. So everyone here is a member of our Tipsy Sake Club, our subscription service. And if you knew or not, actually this Tipsy Sake Club comes with amazing benefits. First one is a tasting video. So this time you get the product card, and then at the corner of product cards, there's a QR code. This connects to our website product page. And on that product page, we have a tasting video ready. So please, whenever you have a time before you drink it or while you're drinking it, just click and watch the video. It's going to be amazing. And also you get 6% cashback points. So Tipsy has a reward points, and as a member of Tipsy Sake Club, you get the most, beneficial rate. So please take advantage of that. And also you get a free sipping, forever free sipping. So whenever you feel like, ooh, I really like this sake, so I want to get a refill of it. So, but Tipsy doesn't really offer free shipping for one bottle. I mean, less than 6 bottles. But as a member of Tipsy Sake Club, you get it. So just redeem the reward from your account and take advantage of your free shipping for your refill. All right.
So 1 bottle free shipping, 5 bottles free shipping, anytime.
Yep.
It's like Amazon Prime.
I just picked up half a dozen.
Better than us.
Well, we're in Texas,
Awesome.
so you guys are the ones source for sake.
Oh,
That's one of-
Texas, you gotta start
we have to
up
drive
early.
up to Plano. They have a Mitsuo up there. That's like a 6-hour drive. So
It's pretty
Yeah.
new, right? The Mitsuba is fairly new.
yeah, fairly new.
Years?
We're originally from Orange County, so we're used to being able to shop, but not a whole lot of shopping here going on.
Yeah. チャールズさん、テキサス州に住んでるんですよ。で、テキサスはアルコールの規定で1週間も足されてしまうので、送る時間に、もう事前に6本ずつとかオーダーしてくれてるみたいな。ストックアップしないと1週間待てないんで。
Thank you for being a loyal customer.
Thank you. Yeah, I know it takes a lot of patience to enjoy
Yeah.
sake
It does.
sometimes.
All right. So to the agenda, so we have super cool, exciting things coming up today. So we're gonna do kanpai, and we're gonna take a group photo. Then we prepared a little bit of slides about each breweries that are joining today. And then at the end, we are going to have a Q&A session. Comes with a prize, so be ready for that. Okay, so first, please prepare a cup of sake. Wow, so many people are here now.
I'm sure.
Yeah, so if you are comfortable, please show your smile. We're going to do kanpai. 皆さんもお水でもよろしいので、よければ乾杯に参加くださ
Yeah,
い。
thanks for showing us your faces. There's Rick and I think Stephanie
見
was
まし
here.
た。
Oh yeah, Stephanie and somebody that's not Stephanie next to Stephanie. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, everyone.
Kyle, nice to see your face. I know you stepped away for a sec. You're probably getting your
Bye.
glasses. Kanpai desu
Yeah.
ne.
Okay,
Yeah.
are you guys ready? So 3, 2, 1. 乾杯.
Kanpai.
Bye.
Thank you. I took a great picture of you guys, your faces, your smiles. Awesome. Thank you. Okay, now we're going back to slide. Okay, so the June 2021 Sake box. Oh, I want to talk a little bit about what you got in your box, just real quick. So as I mentioned, our product course comes with a QR code, which you can, watch the tasting video of each product. And also, this is something new. We started issuing Tipsy Tribune every quarter. It comes with amazing content. It has a, so something to, learn about sake and the new items. There's actually Kevin who's joining today. He's a Tipsy ambassador. And also every, issue we have a, exciting recipe. So please read. All right.
There's also a brewery spotlight there.
Oh, yes.
This time, because it was the first time, we asked Sakurai president from Dasai, who's opening a brewery in New York State. I think it's called Dasai Blues. So he wanted to talk about that a little bit. A sneak peek. Are we okay to do a sneak peek for September Sake Box?
Oh yeah, at the end, maybe, yeah?
Yeah. So
That'd be
we have
exciting.
another really iconic brewery spotlight type of brewery spotlight is a blog thing, but we're really excited about featuring these breweries and products. So
Yes, thank
something to
you.
read. Oh, and we have a John Gottner article in there as well, because he
Oh,
talked
yeah.
about
On the second
he
page,
talked
yeah,
about
please
breweries.
read.
Sorry, I'm geeky, so like I'm super excited about these things. He's talking about the different types of polishing and how that makes a difference on the sake, and there's subtle differences, but it makes all the difference sometimes.
Yeah.
Anyway.
You guys can tell how much, excitement we put into this first issue. So please read when you have time. And yeah, so we're gonna start our slide. Okay, all right. So Sachiko-san, please take it away.
Yeah, sorry, can you go back to the screen about the June sake box? I'm just super excited about this lineup. I was really happy to make this happen. We couldn't have done it without all the help from the importers and distribution companies. It's been a huge hurdle to get these on the ship on time, which is impossible. We're just happy to finally get it to your hands, and we really appreciate your patience. But every single product is so cool to me, and to be able to put it in the same box for me was like a dream come true. So please ask us any questions about any of them if you're intrigued. And yeah, I'm just happy to get this to your hands. So yeah, let's take it away. Talk to the brewers who are here. So the first brewery I want to talk to you about is Dewazakura Sake Brewing. And we have the fourth president, Masumi Nakano, here. If you see him, he says Dewazakura Masumi. His name is really long and it has a company name. And he is very iconic even in the brewing world, even beyond brewing. I feel like in the beverage world, and has hosted a lot of interns, and also have played a big role in getting all the brewers together in the prefecture to gain what's called a geographical indication. Geographical indication is like champagne or scotch. It can only be called champagne when it's from that region. And they were the first prefecture to do that. And that could not have been done if all the brewers got together and really tried to define their style. And it's such a beautiful place. I've never been. I would love to go. It's where all the experts go, and it's surrounded by mountains. And they have this iconic product called Dewazakura Oka, and it was introduced in 1980. It is basically, it's what prompted the Ginjo boom in the 80s. It was such an iconic, fragrant and light and enticing product that people were just like, Ginjo is the new thing, you know? So, and there's a QR code on there. We have just a few products added from Dewazakura Sake Brewing. We'd love for you to try all of them, of course. There's other things that they've done, like using Dewa Sansan, which is only given to products that use Dewa Sansan rice from that prefixture. They actually have their own yeast, and of course they use their own water and brewing techniques and things like that. So we welcome the fourth president, Nakano-san. Thank you for being here. And I have a few questions for you, if that's okay. これからちょっと Q&A の質問タイムになります。日本語でも英語でもよろしいんですけど、私は日本語で。
日本語しかできませんからお願いします。
はい、日本語で質問します。I'm going to ask him questions in Japanese, and then I'll be sure to translate. I am a pretty loose translator though, so ask me any questions, okay? ですね、聞きたかった質問が、米国での日本酒事情ってもう20何年エキスポートしてるのでずっと見てきてると思うんですけど、その意外だったこととか感心したこととかそういうことってありますか、この20何年かで。
なるほど。はい。じゃあ2つお話しさせていただきたいと思います。はい、まず1点目はですね、日本からアメリカにお酒をお持ちをして、いろんな形でいろんなお酒をということで、木酒なりをしていただいて、まず驚きと発見といいますか、振り返りといいますか、日本はなかなか日本酒市場がなかなか大変な状況でありますので、変わったお酒、季節感のあるものとか、数が少ないものとか、そういった限定したものを飲んでいただいたり、利き酒していただくと喜んでいただけるのではないかというふうに思っておりましたが、それも喜んではいただけるんですけれども、やはり日本酒はもっと基本的なスタンダードのお酒をしっかりと訴えて、その会社が一番訴えたい、その蔵が一番訴えたいものは何なんだということが大切ではないかということを非常に教えていただきました。ですからやはり基本とかスタンダードっていうものをですね、日本人はもう少し肝に銘じてですね、常に変化だけではなくて、今野球大谷頑張ってますけど、変化球も必要ですけど、やはり直球をですね、しっかりとコントロールをつけて投げるっていうことで初めてだというふうに思って、そこが非常に気づかされた第一点です。はい。はい、
とりあえずそちらを
はい、
通訳してみたい、翻訳じゃない、通訳してみたいと思います。So I asked Nakano-san, you know, they've been exporting for over 20 years and watching the changing market in the US, what has been surprising or interesting for him to see. And he said when they first started exporting, they had a lot of tastings and had people try seasonal things or new things or something that was perhaps intriguing in Japan. And they were surprised to find out that what people really wanted to know and try were the standards, kind of like the middle of the standard items that have been tried and proven. So he felt like the sake market in Japan is struggling in a way to gain attention, whereas it's gaining a lot of attention overseas. And the difference is in Japan, they try to market things that are limited, seasonal, new things. And in the US, people were more interested in, you know, the solid sellers. And so he felt like that Japan could learn from that. And it was his way of going back to his roots and examining what they've been doing and kind of going back to their roots. ありがとうございます。そしたら、
はい、
he has another answer to my question, so the second one is coming. 2つ目の答えお願いします。
はい、じゃあ2つ目の、山形県、先ほどもご紹介いただきましたけど、GI を県単位で初めて日本で認定をいただいた県なんですけども、山形県全体として、メーカーがですね、20社ぐらいニューヨークにお邪魔をして、利き酒をしていただく機会がございました。その時にですね、日本の利き酒ですと当然、幻のなかなか手に入らないお酒、また、並んでる中で一番高額なお酒あたりにですね、お酒の利き酒最初集中してしまうという現象が日本の場合よくある現象ですけども、アメリカの場合はそういうことがないとは言いませんけれども、やはり一個一個ですね、順番通りといいますか、対峙していただいて、私は5番目が美味しかったと。その幻なり価格の高いのが8番目、11番目に並んだとしてもですね、やはりきっちりとして自分の口で、舌で官能でですね、しっかりとお酒をジャッジしていただいているなっていうような印象を非常に強く持ちました。利き酒ってなかなか訳すの難しいかもしれませんが、漢字で書くとですね、口辺に利益の利って書いて利き酒になります。で、最近はですね、情報がこういうことですから、耳酒をしているのではないかと、利き酒ですね。それも大切ですけども、やはり日本人はもう少し素晴らしい感性を持っている民族だと思ってますので、自分の感性、自分の感覚っていうものをしっかりとですね、自信を持って主張していくということもですね、大切だなということを勉強させていただきました。
素晴らしいです。So his answer, again, the second time is something that he learned. And as we mentioned, Yamagata Prefecture is the first prefecture in Japan to gain geographical indication for sake. And so about 20 brewers went to New York to do kikizake. That's what you call a professional tasting. Usually in Japan, people are interested in trying most expensive thing or the new thing, you know. But when he went to New York and experienced that kikizake session, he realized that everybody really is just relying on their palate and how they've taken in that liquid and really honest feedback. And that was refreshing for him. And so there's Japanese is really complicated. There's different characters and there's different ways to read it. And there's phonetics and there's different ways to write the same phonetic. Like my name Sachiko, it could be written in 5 different ways. So kikizake, the word for this tasting, can be perhaps taken in different ways. And one way, the real way that it's taken is with your mouth and some kind of merit to it. And that's the real way, but he was thinking maybe perhaps people have been going the kiki, like a hearing way, and have kind of followed the fad a little bit too much and have been just like slightly derailed from the honest truth and the honest assessment of tasting. So that was really refreshing for him. ありがとうございます。次もう一つ質問あるんですけど、いいですか？
はい、大丈夫です。
I have another question for him. 蔵で飲まれる日本酒と海外で飲まれる日本酒ってどういうふうに違って感じられますか？
はい、先ほどちょっと長かったので短めにいかなきゃいけないですよね。やはり基本的には皆さんおっしゃる通り、その蔵、私どもで言えば山形、菊松さんだったら灘、でっていうのが、その通りだとは思いますけれども、やはり日本人を映す鏡ですから、日本酒は。やはりどんなところでも寄り添えて、どんな場所でも和んで、どんな人とも仲良くなれるっていうのが日本人だと思いますので、今品質管理皆様のおかげでですね、いい状態でお酒を皆様にお届けできるっていう環境ですから、どこでも何にでもどなたと飲んでも美味しいのが日本酒だというふうに思います。
Okay, so I asked him the difference, what his take is on the difference between sake that you would drink at his brewery and sake that he might enjoy overseas. And he says, luckily, we're blessed with many different ways to transport the sake in good condition. And the good thing about sake and Japanese people is that we can be friends with anybody. We're very, Japanese people tend to be polite. We can make friends with people. Sake is the same way. It doesn't fight with any pairing or food. It's very well accepted. It's non-judgmental. There's really no borders. So it's something that really shines. And he mentioned that sake is like kagami. So it's like a mirror of the Japanese people. It should really reflect their values and gratitude. So he feels that it's something that really can be enjoyed anywhere overseas. Arigatou gozaimasu. Those are my 2 questions for this brewery. Thank you. And if you have any questions, we have a Q&A session at the very end. I know I'm kind of pressing on the time, but we'll just spend same amount of time for everybody, and then it might be like a few minutes later than 5:30 to do the Q&A. I'll do my best.
And just so you know, just so you know, I've been posting a chat, your English translated questions and stuff.
Oh, okay, so I don't need to repeat it.
And also super rough translation as well. So,
oh,
but
no
I think it's nice to have your translation. It's better.
Oh, no worries. Yeah, I'll just make my translation really quick because I tend to overtalk anyway.
Right, thank you. Okay, to the next slide then.
はい、次が菊間サムネ Brewing Company. Nakano-san actually mentioned the Nada area. So this is the area that's really famous, became hugely famous for high quality sake that was shipped by sea to present day Tokyo. So it's a port city, kind of like south and tucked away from Tokyo. And Kikuma Samune is one of the largest top 10 brewing companies with over like 360-year history. They also do have geographical indication in this small area called Nadagogo, known for their harder water source. It just means there's more calcium and magnesium that aids in the fermentation. So it has a robust fermentation. They're known for drier and kind of bolder. Some, historically is called masculine type of sake. So we have Kikuma Samune Kojo. I've been calling it Kojo, but it's Kojo. And this is a new innovation. They have a laboratory, as Fukui-san showed us in the video, and they developed this yeast called HA14, I believe, and it has this kapu kapu seibun, which is the green apple aroma. And to mix that with a junmai solid structure is a new experience for me. And I really think value-wise as well, but flavor combinations and the textures, it's really innovative. So we welcome Fukui-san. I have my 2 questions for him. So, 福井様に質問させていただきます。ですね、ティプシーではちょうど今何週間か前に菊間サムネの樽酒ですとか絹白、日本では売ってないんですよね。絹白とかあと100目のシリーズを導入したばっかりなんです。商品登録終わったばっかりなんですけど、工場を飲んだ後にぜひ次に飲んでほしいっていうおすすめありますか？
はい、もちろん全部飲んでいただきたいんですけどどれか一つということであれば、僕は樽酒をちょっとお勧めしたいなと思ってます。樽酒ってワインですとオークダル、いわゆるフレンチオークとかアメリカンオークで貯蔵したりすると思うんですけど、この樽酒って杉の木でできた樽で、貯蔵しまして、ワインのように何ヶ月とか何年とかっていうわけではないんですけど、せいぜい数週間とかそれぐらいなんですけど、貯蔵してそれを取り出して瓶詰めしたお酒で、杉の木の香りがすごい爽やかで、よくスパイシーですとかスモーキーとかっていう言葉で表現されるんですけど、すごいすがすがしい香りで森の中にいるような、なんか森林浴してるような感じになりますんで、ぜひ試していただきたいです。で、特にバーベキュー、ちょっとグリルしたようなお料理、お肉とかお魚とかとすごい相性がいいですんで、ぜひバーベキューと合わせて 飲んでもらえたらなというふうに思います。もちろん全部飲んでもらえたら嬉しいです。
素晴らしいです。So, his recommendation for the next sake to try from Kikumasamune is taruzake. Has anybody tried taruzake? It's really good. If you see a taruzake, it means it's aged in a barrel, and it's Japanese cypress, otherwise called Japanese cedar. It's not aged like wine for a long time, like in French barrels or oak barrels. It's a very distinct Japanese one with a cedar aroma. There's a little bit of color. It's only aged in there for a couple weeks, but it's a very artisan process. And Kikumasamune is one of the companies that is leading and really preserving that art too. And he would love for you to try that. There's some smokiness to it, some spiciness, some people say. If you bring it to barbecue, that would be amazing. It's just something fun to try. I'm surprised because my recommendation for Kikumasamune to try next would be the Hyakumoku Alt 3. That's a blend and it's a more higher end. Yeah. 私だったらそれかなと、私はそれ次のみたい
はい。僕の好みで言っちゃいました。い
えいえ、大丈夫です。That was his preference. My preference is, you know, the Hyakumoku, which is their new series, kind of higher end. That's the one that you enjoy at French restaurants. And it's a blend. It's kind of frou-frou, you know, but I spend more money on sake than rent, probably. So that's just my style. But he says, please try all of them. And you can do searches on the Tipsy website now by brand and brewery. So once you want to conquer everything from that brand, they have an amazing nigori too that they only have available in America. They were going to discontinue it in Japan. So they have that. I should go to the next question. I'm sorry for taking so long. 次の質問に行きます。菊間サムネの、これから今360年の歴史がある会社で、これから400周年に向けて新たな取り組みやゴールなどありましたら教えてください。
そうですね。うち創業が1659年で、一昨年2019年に創業360年を迎えまして、でちょうど考えてみるとですね、このサークルにすると、一周ぐるぐるぐると360度、回ってきたという元の地点に戻ってきたということになると思うんですけど、去年361年を迎えて、2周目にこう走り出しているわけなんですけれども、この長い、歴史といいますか、あと伝統っていうのを、次の360年もですね、しっかり守りながら、伝統を守りながら、やっぱりその守ってるだけだと、次の360年、僕は多分、絶対生きてないと思うんですけど、2周目、ゴールを切れないと思いますんで、新しいことにやっぱりチャレンジしていかないといけないなと。特にうちは工場の、で使ってる工具っていうのも研究所でですね、長年かけて、育種した新しい工具を使ってできた商品ですので、こういったテクノロジーといいますか、そういったものもしっかりと駆使して、歴史と伝統のプラス、そういったテクノロジーも、両方を使ってですね、よりいいお酒を、日々追い求めて、しっかり、精進していきたいなっていうふうに思ってます。ちょっと硬い感じですいません。
大丈夫です。素晴らしいです。360は考えてませんでした。そう、
はい。なんかちょうどこう円になるかなっていう。
ですね。
はい。
Yeah, so they just celebrated their 360th anniversary. They're founded in 1659. And when you think about the circle, I didn't think about this, but 360 degrees is one circle, right? So they feel like they've completed that circle, and they've just started into the first year of their second round to make this circle. And he's like, I'm sure not going to be alive, when that circle completes, but we think it's really important to have the legacy and keep the tradition, but also be innovative and open-minded and use research and technology like the Kojo to keep Kojo to keep creating new products and not stopping that momentum, I guess, in a way. So that's their answer. Thank you very much. ありがとうございます。
ありがとうございます。
お疲れ様です。お待たせしました。室町 Brewing Company is the next one. This is the Omachi one. So I don't know if, well, I'm not going to ask my first question, but if you've tried this, it uses omachi rice. Omachi is the first heirloom rice, sake rice. So all the other sake rice is basically a derivative of this original sake rice strain. They use omachi no reisen, which is water named omachi from the region. This uses rice not only from that region, from that very town that is very, very prized for growing this sake. And bizen, I put that there because they're bizen ware, and bizen is also from that area. It's also part of the product name, and it has a lot of history. And there's some bizen ceramic things I wanted to ask about this. So I really like how minty and kind of refreshing this is. I kind of didn't expect this, but it definitely does have the omachi flavor layers to it. And I happen to have the Dewa Zakura's omachi. This is omachi too. So it's very, very sought after. It's also grown in America now too, in Arkansas. So very cool. But I'm gonna go to my question for Hanafsa-san at Muromachi Brewing Company. アメリカでもご存知かもしれないんですけど、アメリカでもお餅って栽培されてるんですよ。こっちで、
はい、
日本酒作ってる人用に。
うんうん、
で、そこまで人気がある、山田錦の次に栽培され始めたんですけど、そこの本場のお町の人気と、そのお町ストと呼ばれる方のことをちょっと聞きたくて、で、アメリカにいてもお町ストになる資格はあるのかどうか、聞きたかったです。
はい、わかりました。ですね、お町米のまず一番の特徴というのが、他の酒米に比べてうまみっていうのがすごいしっかりしているお米でして、このお町米で作ったお酒も、他の酒米で作ったお酒に比べて、しっかりとした味わいがあるんです。で、日本でいうそのお町ストという方は、そのお米の飲んだ時のしっかりした味わいの虜になった、すごい好きになった方々のことを例える名前で今お町ストと呼ばれてまして、今10年ぐらい続いてるんですけど、お町サミットといって毎年全国のお町米のお酒だけを集めて品評会を当地岡山で毎年東京でまず開催して、その後岡山でもやるんですけど、いろんな全国の酒蔵さんのお町のお酒が集まってですね、各地のお町ストの方々が来られてテイスティングして盛り上がる会があってですね、非常に10年、もうここ10年ぐらいで本当にお町米というお酒はすごい広がったのかなと思います。もうまたですね、アメリカ人の方もお町ストになれるかということなんですけど、やはり味わいが好きっていう方はもう全員お町ストなので、もうそこにボーダーラインはないと言いますか、ありませんので、全世界お町スト計画が広げていきたいです。
ありがとうございます。That's really cool. So I wanted to know about these people called omachisto, because I kept, I started seeing like Instagram handles called omachisto, and then there's so many omachi fans in America too. And omachi sake rice, first of all, is known for its umami and a solid structure. And then what is an omachist? I asked. And an omachist is basically somebody that drinks omachi and is just enamored by it. They love omachi, so they can't stop, having more. They actually have an omachi summit in Tokyo and in Okayama, where all the omachi lovers come and taste all the omachi sake that's made all over Japan. And yes, you can become an omachist. It's kind of weird when you say it in English, but you can become an omachist in America too, because it's the heart that matters and there's no borders on becoming an omachist. おまちサミットって何月にあるんですか？
大体毎年8月頃に、来月ぐらい、今年は9月にあるんですけど、
はい、
大体8月頃にあります。
誰でも行けるんですか？
一応応募したら誰でも、お金はちょっとかかるんですけど、誰でも大丈夫です。
Okay, so there's a small fee to go to the summit, but you do have to apply to it, but it's in August and all are welcome. So I would love to go. It's in August, it's a little hot, but I'd love to go to it and pretend to be a omachist. I'm sure I'm going to be surrounded by people that are way more omachist than I am, but I still do love omachi sake too. So thank you for this lesson. もう一つの質問に行きます。ビデオでも紹介していただいたんですけど、備前焼きで飲むこだわりとか楽しみ方っていうのをもうちょっと聞きたいなって思ったんですね。私から見たらすごく高価な印象なんですけど、なんかその手記を育てるとかって聞いたことあるので、そういう飲み方ってアメリカではやっぱり全然まだ聞いたことがない、馴染みがないことなので、この辺の話をちょっと聞きたかったです。
わかりました。僕も素人と言ったらあれなんですけど、そこまで詳しくはないんですけど、今回ちょっと備前焼きも持ってきてはいるんですけど、備前焼きというのは他の陶器と違って素焼きと言われているものなんです。普通の陶器というのは釉薬といって塗り薬を塗ってコーティングするんですけど、この備前焼きというのはそういったことをしないので、他の、陶器に比べて通気性がすごいいいんです。なので長期熟成とかするんでしたらあんまり向いてないんですけど、こういったすぐに飲むときはお酒を、日本酒なり何ちょっと入れたりして飲むと通気性がいい分だけなんというかすごい口当たりが柔らかくなるというか、
普通同じお酒ってするような感じでしたね。
そうですね、イメージ的には、はい、普通の陶器で飲むよりもすごい飲みやすいです。すっともう水みたいに飲めちゃうので飲みすぎちゃうんですけど。
面白いです。そこ一旦説明していいですか？ごめんなさい。So, Bizenware is really, really famous. There's 6 big different ceramics that are really famous in Japan. Bizen is one of them. They have a national treasure person making this too. But its characteristic is that there's no glaze on it, so it's porous, and it breathes the air much more. So it's not really suited for storing sake in, but for drinking. If you compare it to a regular ceramic cup, he says it's so different. It's just much more softer on the mouthfeel and like really, really beautiful. So maybe it doesn't have to be, really expensive, authentic Bizenware, but if you have a non-glazed earthenware, maybe try that at home. 備前じゃなくても、もし家にあるグレーズがないやつだったらちょっとやってみてもいいのかな。When Stephanie has a ceramic where she just took a sip out of the ceramic. はい、ごめんなさい。続きをお願いします。
はい。で、備前焼きっておっしゃる通り、基本的には高いものが多いんですよ。やはり 著名な人間国宝の方とか、そういう方になるともう値段がもうつけれない何百万円とかしてしまうようなものとかあったりするんですけど、今個人的にちょっとおすすめしているのが、若手の方とかがちょっと色付き、普通の備前焼ってこういう色なんですけど、こういった焼く前に色をつけて作ったりされてる方も若手の方でいらっしゃって、こういうものはまだすごい今まだ安いって言ったら怒られるんですけど、まだまだ手に入りやすいような値段で、ちょっとファッション向けというか、そのデザイン性もあるようなもので、こういったものもすごい今おすすめしてます。
So the blue one that he has in his hand is like more of a modern version of it. It has color before they fire it. It's still porous, doesn't have like a glaze on it, but it's colored, and it's by a younger ceramicist. not the national treasure ceramicist that makes, you know, Bizenware that sells as much as a Mercedes, but these ones are a little bit more affordable and perhaps has the playfulness and something you can enjoy. So, ありがとうございます。
ありがとうございます。
はい。Those were my questions. I feel like we can incorporate more of, you know, your questions, and I'm missing a lot. I think there's like 41 comments, so we got a lot to catch up. And Mimi, I'm sorry for going overtime. I'm really sorry, everybody, for going overtime. すいません、時間がすごくオーバーしてしまって申し訳ないです。クランの方、本当お忙しかったら、これからは Q&A セッションなので、あと、クランの方からも質問がありましたら、私たち、今回のセッションでも、他のセッションでもいろいろ聞いて、答え集めていきたいと思うので、お気軽に聞いていただけたらと思います。
Okay, so thank you so much, everyone. So we can here we come to Q&A session. So there are two ways you can ask. One is that you can leave your question in the chat. I'll stop bothering the chat, so it's all yours. It's open to the floor. Or if you know how to do it, you can raise your hand using reaction panel on the Zoom. Or if anything, you can just start talking. I wouldn't stop. Yes, and then yes. So anyone who leaves a question in the chat, or who actually asks questions, you're entered to the giveaway for our Tipsy tote bag. This is so cute. Can you guys see my screen? Yeah. So
this is Team Chill, so it's for people that love chilled sake. 練習バージョンのアーティストに頼んで、Tipsyのアートを作ってもらいました。
Yes, this is our very, very first branded goods. This one has a little mermaid chilling in a cold sake, and it's really cute. And this idea came from our Facebook group from Kevin's icebreaker question. So it's really fun. Anyway, so for a chance to win this bag, please leave a question, or just ask your question. So yes, here we go.
Naka, I think Ton-san has a question about the HA14 proprietary yeast by Kikuma Samune. It's a little geeky, but I think people are really, really interested in yeast these days. やっぱりアメリカでもすごく酵母の香りとかすごく注目していて、もちろん酒米の種類とか歴史とかも皆さん勉強していて、酵母にすごく興味があるみたいですね。トンさんはテイスティングとかしているので。What do you want to know, Ton-san, about HA14? I know it produces a lot of the ethyl caprate, which is what we call kapu kapu.
Yeah, it gives us the apple, the green apple, thing.
Yeah, it has like the green apple aroma, which is usually more for like highly polished rice, ginjo style, but this one is done with a junmai. It's done at their laboratory research center.
How do you get a yeast that is actually um, exclusive to your brewery? How do you do that?
どうやって菊正宗の酵母っていうものを自社酵母っていうのを作るんですかって質問です。
ですね、先ほどもちょっとお話しさせていただいたんですけど、うち研究所という、部署といいますか、がありまして、そこで日々いろんな研究をしているわけなんですけれども、その大きな仕事の一つが酵母の、育種、新しい酵母の開発っていうのがありまして、で、これは何をしてるかっていうとですね、いろんな酵母をですね、例えば大元は境界酵母だったりするんですけど、それを人工的にいろんな酵母を作り出して、でその中でこいつは香りをいっぱい作り出すだろうっていうのをまず選抜いたしまして、で次にそれを使ってこじ込みというのをやるんですね。小さい本当にいちご180ミリぐらいとかぐらいのサイズで、仕込みまして、で実際にたくさん香りを作り出すっていうことが分かったらですね、じゃあこいつは使えるっていうことで、大きなロットにどんどんしていくというそういう地道な作業を、今回のその HA14 酵母に関してもう数年10年近くかけて地道な作業を毎日繰り返して、でようやく見つけた酵母がこの HA14 酵母ということになりますね。そういった作業を繰り返して、はい、
プロセスがあるんですね。
はい。
So, Kikuma Samune has their own research center. Not every brewery has that luxury, but they have their own research center. It does take about 10 years to develop or isolate yeast. It's a very arduous, long process. The very root of it may have come from Brewing Society of Japan Association yeast, but they basically stress it out or do different things to it. And then as the yeast evolves, they isolate it and make a baby batch. And then they test it to figure out the qualities. And so HA14 is also one of those that took about 10 years to create.
Amazing.
Yeah, Charles-san has his hand up, I think. I'm sorry. Did you have a question for us with your very nice microphone?
I did. What I was curious about, this is for all three of them. Do they think that sake has finally reached parity in respect, like with wine globally? I know for most of my life, sake was just kind of not anything. People didn't take it serious outside of Japan, but it seems to me that the world's starting to take Japanese sake pretty seriously now. I mean, this is evidence of it right here. So, do they think that's the case? And what do they see the future?
So you're not asking about how people in Japan see it. You're asking how the brewers see the world seeing them.
Yes, the perception of on the world stage, as it were.
Yeah, that's really interesting. 皆さんすべての蔵に質問なんですけど、チャールズさんから日本酒はワインのようにもう世界的に見て、日本国内ではなくて国外から見て世界的な視点でワインとも並ぶような商品に這い上がってきたというかレベル認知されてるというふうに思いますか、今の時点で。中野さんに聞いてもよいですか、まず。
はい、そうなりたいんですが、まだまだこれからだと思います。ただやはり日本酒は世界に冠たるアルコールで一番遅れてできていく食中酒だと思っています。今、日本酒全体の5、6% が海外に輸出されてますが、ちょっとコロナ禍の影響でちょっとストップ気味ではあるんですけど、だいぶアメリカは復活してきてますけど、これからぜひ皆様にですね、日本酒の良さ、素晴らしさ、奥深さを広めていっていただいて、日本酒をもっと世界中に広げていきたいなというふうに思っております。
So Nakano-san feels like it's not quite there yet. Sake is export about 5%, 5 to 6% with the Corona last year it's kind of taken a step back, but is exported, and he doesn't feel it has gained the recognition enough to be on the same platform as wine at this point. It's still an upward battle to be recognized. 花房さんはどう思いますか？
そうですね、中野社長がおっしゃってたこととだいぶ似てはいるんですけど、まだまだやはり認知度という面では、世界的な視点で見ると低いのかなというのが現状です。アメリカ国内でもニューヨークとか LA とか、そういった大都市ではやはり認知はされてると思うんですけど、やはり他のまだローカルな地域とかになってくると、酒なんだそれみたいなまだイメージを持たれている方が多いというのが現状でして、そういったローカルな方でも酒というものを知ってもらえるように広げていきたいなとは思っています。
So Hanasa-san from Uromachi Brewing Company feels the same way as Nakano, President Nakano. He feels like until everybody in the world recognizes sake and what it is, like everybody knows wine, right? To some extent. Until everybody is familiar with sake and how great it is, we still have some ways to go there. 福井さんはどうでしょ
はい、中野社長と花房さんと、同じになるんですけど、ワイン、日本酒もね、輸出の量とか、年々こう増えてきてまして、すごい広がってるなというふうには感じるんですけれども、ワインと比較したときにはまだまだかなというふうに感じてます。例えばワインとかですと、居酒屋とか、日本食レストランとかにも普通に置いてあるじゃないですか。で、かたや日本酒って、基本日本食レストランがメインだと思うんですけど、今フレンチレストランとか、イタリアンとかにちょっとずつも入ってきてはいるんですけども、そういったところ違うジャンルのレストランにも日本酒が入ってきて、でかつ皆様のご自宅に必ず日本酒が置いてあるみたいなそういうことになればですね、ようやくワインと型を並べたかなっていうふうに感じれるのかなというふうに思ってます。で、そういう意味では、ティプシーさんがやられてるビジネスっていうか、サービスっていうのは素晴らしいなと思ってまして、個人、お酒をね、なかなか買えない個人のお客様に、品質のいいお酒をお届けすると、そういったサービスっていうのは素晴らしいなと思ってます。ぜひ一緒に、なんか協力できることがあれば、ぜひ協力させてもらいたいなというふうに思います。
ありがとうございます。一緒に飲んでもらうのが一番いいと私は
お願いします。
思ってます。
ぜひ。
So Fukui-san from Kikuman Summonet feels the same way. The battle for sake, in a way, is that it's only offered at Japanese restaurants. If you look at America, wine is offered, any kind of restaurant. So sake needs to get there, and it also needs to go to people's homes. So Tipsy's doing a great job. He's given us props for making it available to homes in America. Maybe it takes a while to get to the closest mitsuwa, but you can order eventually in Texas, get your sake. And I honestly think that it's really about sharing. Once you drink it with a friend, the barriers come down. You're happy to buy it again and try a different one and enjoy it with a friend. So it really is about sharing and kind of enjoying. And I mean, drinking solo too. I love drinking solo and talking to my sake as a friend. So it just is about moments and sharing. So I have overspoken my welcome, but thank you.
Yes, thank you
for
so
joining
much.
us.
Yeah, so it's almost 6 o'clock, so we're gonna go ahead and close. But thank you everyone for joining and participating in the Q&A session as well. We actually have a few questions, but we'll definitely take it in account for giveaway. And also we will, we hope to relay this question to each breweries after the meeting. But
And
let
I'm
me just-
happy to stay on, so I can answer, any questions if people want to stay on. Of course, the breweries should go there. It's in the morning for them. They've taken time out of their day to be here for us. But I see a lot of questions. I'd love to connect with you. And yes, I do taste some kind of smoke in Visa, and I think that's really cool. And this time was Kyle's first time, I think, trying omachi sake, he said, which was really cool. So maybe you're a budding omachist and we can all go to Japan and like do this American invasion of the omachi summit, and they'll be like, oh my God, Americans love it and Japanese people really need to pay attention to it. So that's kind of what happens, California roll was back imported and made popular in Japan. But yeah, I love that stuff. So
thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, so before we close, I'm just gonna remind you with the next session we have next week, Wednesday, July 14 at 5 o'clock, so same time. So this next session, we're going to have another amazing breweries, Kodama, Senkin, and Nate. So please join that. And again, thank you so much for each brewery representatives to join today's event, and thank you everyone for staying. So keep drinking. So let's do 乾杯 to close. Is that okay? 最後乾杯で締めましょう。本当にありがとうございました。長いこと。
ありがとうございました。
はい。
Thank
乾
you
杯
so
です。
much.
乾杯。
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you
Thank you.
everyone.
Thank you.